All right, welcome back. It's time for us to talk entertainment. I have here with me a very good friend of mine, known her for quite a while, but a favorite actress as well, of a lot of you, and rightly so. Award-winning Nse Ikpe Etim. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thanks for finally being here 7 years later, after I extended the invitation, but it's great that you're here anyways. How are you doing?
Do you think I was probably waiting for you?
No, but seriously, why do you really grant interviews? Because it's, for people in the arts, or in entertainment, in movies in particular, there's always something to sell. And they always say, oh, you have to put yourself out there so that the brand keeps growing. But you don't seem to grant a lot of interviews. Why?
I think I grant what's necessary when I have what to say.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily appreciate the fact that I have to be in people's faces and drown them out. I think there's so much to pick out there, so I mustn't just constantly be in your face, except, of course, I'm selling.
Doesn't that take away from the brand, you think?
No, my brand is more aspirational, right? It's more, I'm a very introverted person, and yet I'm able to become anything else you want me to become at any point in time. So I was also going through stuff in my head, so it's kind of difficult to be there and tell that lie that, hey, it's all great.
Yeah, which is what social media in particular seems to be.
I can't deal with that. So when I'm feeling great, yes, I can talk about it if I choose to, but if it's very private, because it's my privacy, I don't necessarily have to sell it. So
do you think those who do it are doing the wrong thing?
I don't think so. There's probably no right or wrong. I think it's who you are, what you want. And I like that when you see me, you go like, oh, I haven't seen you in a bit. It's kind of a good feeling.
Well, you relocated at some point because you got married.
Yes.
But you were coming and out for movies and all of that. How has that affected your journey as an actress? Because, I mean, Nollywood is Nollywood, which is a Nigerian-based movie industry. You moved to London. Did that sort of thin out the roles you were getting?
In fairness, I would say no, because I think after I'd moved was when I did 50.
Okay.
Yes. I did some others, but I did a hotel called Memory as well after I'd moved. But I think what happened was I was struggling balance as well. You know, you have to be a wife, you're married, you've brought someone else into your life, your space, your life's topsy-turvy, literally. And then you can't just dump them and run off and say, oh, I'm off to work, I'm off to work. It can work for some people, but personally it wasn't going to work for me because I needed to establish our relationship. Yeah. Not just the ceremony itself, but, you know, remember the things we used to know together. But even with that, I was still struggling with stuff, and then I just couldn't do a lot that I was given. I did what I could. We'll
talk about the struggles, because you've mentioned them recently in an interview you granted. But before we go there, I wanted to ask, what you talked about now, you know, getting married and, you know, having to do all of this, you never really hear men say that when they get married. Do you think, what do you think about that? Because it always seems like it's a woman who has to sort of...
No.
Was that the case with you?
No, it wasn't. It was a case of we spoke about it. Is my job more flexible? Yes.
Okay.
So in my head, like I said, I constantly said to him, I'm quitting. He says, no, you'll never be happy. Back again. So for every time I came back home, my famous words were, I'm quitting. It was so easy to use health as an excuse because my head was there. I wasn't quite sure what it was I wanted, because sometimes everything's taken away from you. There's no privacy, there's nothing. And then you just realize I'm probably a mannequin. Yeah. And
so you come across like you enjoy acting, but you don't enjoy what comes with it.
But I'm meant to dance in the puddle, aren't I? I'm dancing in it now.
Which is why you're here. Yes. But you've talked a lot about your struggles. And like I said, you granted an interview where you openly talked about, you know, how hard it was, or it has been, with regards to getting pregnant and, you know, just issues about motherhood and, you know, how it affected you. Mm-hmm. And it was a very, very, very personal thing to share. Most people were shocked, surprised, inspired that you would do something like that. But why did you do it? Why did you feel it necessary?
There quite a lot. There's a few reasons, I'd say. First off, I was tired of the trolls just yapping. You know, you have no idea what goes on in people's lives, but it's so easy to sit behind a computer or your phone because there's data, and then you just keep typing. The other person reading is human.
Yeah.
You don't say things that are hurtful, then don't say anything. I'm not saying we all have to be nice. I'm not necessarily nice, but I'm not going to just write it out there and go like, blah, blah. You don't do that. And so it kept coming. It kept coming. I'd see people write stuff, and I'd go like, oh, wow, that's deep. I'm like, but my situation is not that deep. Why are you writing about it? You know, it just went back and forth. And I think I got tired. I just got tired mentally of everything. And I first wrote an article, something on my Instagram, and then Clifford he sees it on LinkedIn, because he's not on social media. So he's a bit worried what's happened to her. So he has to create an Instagram page
to see,
or handle, to see, and then he types something from our kitchen to let me know and say, it's fine, whatever this is, because he had been trying to reach me. So, you're probably watching. I blocked him.
Well, you blocked your husband.
I did, because I said, this is not us. We're not here together. This is work. Not here.
That's very interesting.
Sorry, I said it. So, I did that, and then, I did that, and then he said, are you fine? I said, I'm fine. I'm just tired. I'm tired. I can't deal anymore.
Okay, so you were in Lagos at the time?
I was, I think I was in probably Port Harcourt or something.
Okay. Okay, you were in Nigeria, he wasn't here.
Yes, and he wasn't here. So he had seen it, you know. And
so just sorry to cut you. What you typed out was...
stuff about infertility and women's choices, you know, because some women can choose not to have kids.
Yes.
Some because they're, you know, because of health. You know, all sorts of reasons, and you have no reason. Who are you to judge?
Yeah.
So when I got back home, my team and I got talking about, they kept saying and say, you need to come back. I'm like, what for? I'm tired. I said, no, you can't be tired. You need to come back. You need to come back. And they kept talking to me about it. He was getting worried that, you know, mentally this is not good for you. You need to go back to work. Then he asked the question, like, when we had decided, okay, I'd come back, my manager said, so we're going to have a conversation with you. I said, what am I talking about? He goes, don't worry, just talk, whatever. At that point, I was afraid. I said, did ask, what do I say? But I didn't say anything. And then he says, at night, he says to me, you know, for full cycle, you'd have to talk. I said, talk about?
Everything.
Everything. I'm like, okay, if it happens, I can. If not, I'll just let it go. So we decided to play it by ear.
And it just happened.
Somehow it just happened. And so it came out when I was talking, because people were talking about their issues. And I'm like, it doesn't stop there. I have had and I just blurted it out.
Yeah. How did your husband feel about that? How does he feel?
He's happy that I've healed. Okay. I think that's more important to him. He's happy that I listened to him saying it was okay. And he says, never say I can't. Say we can't. I'm like, I know, right? And so he says, listen, it doesn't really matter. But it doesn't really.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And how do you feel since doing it? Because, like you said, they're trolls. So there will always also be people who would say that and still have something to say.
Oh, God, the last one. I can't.
So how do you feel good that you did that?
I feel good that I took control of my life.
Yes.
And I'm not being constantly drained by physical, emotional, and all kinds of pains. So, yes, I feel amazing. And I'm living. Well.
I thought that was very, very brave. And because everybody knows that someone who's going through something or something even similar to that. So I can imagine the number of people who would have heard or watched you and related instantly and, felt empowered by that. Did you get people who reached out to you like that?
I still get loads of them, not just in Nigeria, like in Africa. Yeah. Loads of women from Zambia, from the south.
Just saying thank you.
Saying thank you for just letting us know that it's okay to live. It's very funny because I met someone who was going through something similar, and she was asked to go pray. That's told heal. And so after she listened to me, she said, I'll see the doctor on Monday. Because
this is not a prayer issue, it's a thing.
It's a
condition.
Thing. It's a condition. Someone says to me, I should go to called someplace, I should go somewhere, and
you will wash whatever out.
Know that the womb will grow back. So I told them to cut their limb, let it grow. How about that? Don't laugh. But it's true. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know if it's me, but it's not temporary and permanent.
I'm trying to get myself together. But I just want to say thank you, actually, for sharing that, because I think that was very, very brave of you. But let's segue back now to work.
To work.
Which, of course, is your passion. Mm-hmm. And after that now, coming out with that, how did that affect working, if at all? Because, I mean, like, with the kind of jobs that you do as an actor, yes. When you're going through a lot, it probably reflects on your work. Yes. Right? So is it better now? Was there stigma on sets? Like, how are things different with work?
With work, because I can't change who I am. So you still expect either, when if you pay for inset and the actor, both of them come. But if you pay for just the character comes. So you get what you pay for. Literally.
Okay, so how does the pay differ?
It would differ. Instead will be like inset and not the character. Why are you laughing?
That's an interesting one.
Because you can't expect me to come and work and then be your friend. Somewhere I'm there. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
So...
Is that a thing with you in the industry? I've heard, stories about... So it's a thin line, right? Between, are you just being professional or are you unfriendly? What do you think? I'm just
professional when I'm at work. I'm not there to make friends. Why don't we just...
So do you have friends in the industry, you think?
Yes. Aren't you one?
I'm not an actor. I'm talking of people
haven't you been in a video? That's acting. You're one.
But do you have friends in the industry?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you're not...
And you know my friends in the industry, so, yeah, I do.
So, but you just talked about now being on set and not trying to make friends.
No, because
do you think that affects... And is it perception is everything? So if there's a perception of you in that way...
Ebuka.
Yeah.
You come on set. We're not meant to be friends in the film, but you want us to be friends. How do we translate? I leave my roles. I'm sorry. I leave my roles.
So let me get this clear. So if you are quarreling with somebody inside the film, you'll be quarreling with them outside?
I won't speak to you, not necessarily, because there's no point. Because what happens is you no longer know that we're working.
So you don't blur the lines. You
need to know. So the same chemistry would be visible.
Do people get that?
They're actors. I'm sure they do.
You've been in Hollywood now for how long?
It's a $1 million question. Well, Naira. I'd say, I think 2008.
So that's about 12, 13 years.
Thereabouts, yes.
What's been the biggest change you've noticed in that time? Because the cinemas are more now, all of that. But what's the one thing that you probably say jumps at you as being a lot different when you're working now?
Production value is different. The production value is different. There's a lot more people willing to quit their jobs and just come into the industry.
Yeah.
We can't know everyone's reasons, but there's a lot more of that happening. There's a lot more investments coming in. It might not be enough, but there's a lot more coming in. I think that the eyes of the world are shifting to Africa, and Nigeria is one of the places they're looking at. even if they don't give us visa, but oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But they're looking in, and that's good.
Are you excited? And the money conversation will always be very, very important when you talk about, I mean, if you're doing anything anyways, but the industry in Nigeria doesn't seem to, the money conversation is still where it was for a lot of people many, many years ago. What is it going to take for that to change? Especially for the
distribution,
actors.
Actually.
Yeah.
I think because if you have more channels, this is me just speaking like I'm just an actress, not, you know.
Yeah.
So if there's more distribution, then you can get more work.
Revenue.
More revenue, and it can all spread out, right? So when that happens, it can translate on my own bottom line.
Yeah.
But I doubt that if I just have 5 cinemas, I'm not saying they're just 5.
There's only so much that can come out of that, yeah.
How much do you want to invest in it? We understand that's happening, but not to say that.
Yeah. Or maybe the streaming platforms are going to probably help.
Yes,
help that
those should help as well.
Before we go now, what should we be looking forward to within, say, 2020? It's a brand new year. Any productions we should be excited about? What are you?
Yeah, you can come have some small chops.
You're in the movie Small Chops, right?
Yes.
That's premiering
tonight.
Yes. But it's out in cinemas next week.
On 31st, yes.
Okay. And are you the lead in that? Were you in production? No. You don't do a lot of production yet.
No, I guess I've been behind the camera before when I used to AD. But now it's money in production. When we get it, we'll do it.
Why are you laughing when you mention Small Chops? Is the name of the movie funny?
No, I like a ring to it. It's really small chops, you know, like chop 1, chop 2, small chops, small chops.
Anything else?
Apparently it means side chick or side guy.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Apaz. Well, apparently. I was trying to be, young and hip. What else? Anything else we should look forward to?
I've got...
Maybe down the line in the year.
Actually, if I throw this out now, this is hectic.
Please
but
do.
it'll put us on the line. So Femi Jacobs and I are working on something.
Oh.
It's a series and...
nice.
And a feature film, so...
Okay, that's definitely one to look forward to. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, you do amazing work. You have multiple awards to your name, and I think that's not... I know you did not pay for them. You obviously worked to get them.
Is your name Sade now?
Well, all the best with everything. And good luck with the premiere this evening.
Thank you.
Please go see Small Chops when it premieres next week. It should be in every cinema, isn't it? And support the arts.
Support the arts.
Do you used to do stage? Would you do stage still?
Yes, I would. I'd definitely do stage.
Any plans on that? Actively? Or?
Actively, it can't be active because I'll be leaving Temba alone for too long. That's my dog.
Wow. I was about to ask who's that. Thanks a lot for being here today.
Thank you.
And all the best with everything.
All right, then.
We'll take a quick break now, and we'll be right back. Please don't go away.